stop trying to make sense of anything, because you won't ever be able to. I have studied philosophy and other things for quite a few years now, and it's not to say I have the conclusion, because this isn't a conclusion at all. I don't mean for it to be black and white or fatal or anything. It's merely to realise you are quite often, I think many people are, searching for something that grounds them within this reality to bring them comfort. I know I have driven myself near insane with some of the experiments I've taken, both psychologically, pharmacologically, spiritually. I've not tried everything, and I won't continue, I won't stop, sorry, but a recurring theme to me is watching how much energy I expend for something I know won't bring me the result, and it's helped me sever that attachment or from seeking that trap, from going through all these things. It's given me peace. Yes, it can, if you're not careful, if you don't understand how you're viewing it, it will make you quite depressed. But the good news is that it's all from the perspective. You realise that you can't conclude, can't answer, that no explanation will satisfy. Then you stop trying to explain. You stop trying to explain who you are, because most of all to yourself, you don't need to explain who you are to yourself unless you are suffering from, I would use mental illness as an example, from an inability to distinguish your own actions and behaviours in a way that causes you unnecessary suffering. But else you don't need to explain to yourself anymore. I don't need to explain myself anymore, when I feel like doing something or I don't feel like doing something. I think it's important to still have goals. You have a reward system, use it, but it won't sum everything up. But that's okay. It's freeing, because I don't need to feel guilty if I don't want to do anything anymore. But I decently know, I believe, the ramifications of that. And that doesn't let me spiral. It's merely a choice. And it's not about making the best choice. There is no best choice. There is only the reality you live in. You have the degree of control you have. But beyond that, that's it. It's very hard in certain states, chemically or mentally, to let go. It's very easy for your ego to remain wishing to control. I can only suggest that you experiment, and it's up to you. It's up to you whether you believe ego-based living is better for you, because a lot of people would disagree with me and say that they're happy trying to conclude or to chase. But for me, I feel more at peace. I know, without knowing, as confusing as that sounds, that I won't regret. I won't look back and wonder. I think sometimes these are useful exercises for specific tools and skills, but as a whole, why make your life any harder than it has to be? Why increase your suffering? Because I think a lot of the way we are today is from that wishing to escape suffering. I will say it. every time, if I can remember. I am a poor practitioner. I am not saying that I exhibit any kind of virtue. I'm not saying this is virtuous. I'm just saying it's merely an option and an observation I've made through choices I've made in my life. That I'm no longer trying to make sense. Rather, just observe. This is what I see. I'm going to use some tools to anchor it in my mind. If I want to write about it, if I want to think about it, but I understand every time I do that, I'm putting on a lens. Just like I've put these sunglasses on. Just when I take something I've seen or heard, and I then think about it, or I talk about it, or I write about it, I've attached something to it no matter what. But that's okay. That's okay with me. And not only that, you will never be objective, but I have become far more objective to both myself and other people, and I'm not perfect. I still have my ways, especially in certain circumstances, but a lot of the time I'm able to see past just the way I see it and all of these strong feelings, because they're so clouding. And I'm not saying that feelings always cause clouding, and they can be useful attachments, especially combined with passion. I think it's still important to utilise these in certain situations, but in terms of making your life simpler and making you less angry, just having that ability just to observe, to only then minorly attach a lens to it, it just makes things so much less confusing. Even though things will only get more confusing as time goes on. My theory for this is just it's sensory. It's just the sheer amount of noise, the sheer amount of people, sound, content. It's going to get dizzying. It's only going to get more confusing, and we are only going to harm ourselves more by trying to make any more sense of it. Don't get me wrong, I still think we should take measures, but this opens up a whole other can of worms, that is a whole other concept and the whole place to come to that agreement. So rather, as individuals, my idea is to just try and spend more time observing, and that understand that anytime I put it further, I will attach a lens. I will have still made an attempt to make sense of it, even though it is senseless. Just like the dog in the background, no matter how many times she hears a noise come out from the garden, she will still run about the house crying. It's a routine. Is that dog trying to make sense of it? I would say yes. And we think we would be more clever than the dog, but we're still trapped in our own version. And it's the illusion of being above that blinds us to the fact that we are still stuck in that way. That you think because you have thoughts that you aren't just a senseless animal, but we are. So much of what we do is based off senses and impulses. No matter how much we've grown the mind beyond what I would believe it was natural, we are still frolicking to senses, but attempting to clarify them for that comfort. To call it absurdism, nihilism, whatever, it's just I've contented myself this morning with realising every time I try and put words to a page, I have for many years tried to explain, but there is no explaining. There is a lens. There's a perspective you can share. Someone might like the colour, or how it fits, how it looks, how it sounds, how it hears, and they'll enjoy it for a time, for a while, and that's it. It's just another sense.